Welcome back to Coins X Tales. We're exploring rare Lincoln wheat pennies, coins that have made people rich. Let's find out why you should never overlook these coins. Because who knows, a single coin could change your life. Don't miss this. Top 1. We're taking a close and careful look at a small copper coin that many people overlook, yet collectors know can still hide surprises. I'm talking about the United States of America Lincoln wheat penny from 1952 with the D mint mark. At first glance, it may look like just another old penny, but when you slow down and really study it, this coin begins to tell a much more interesting story. The 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint during a time when America was rebuilding after World War II. Millions were produced, and because of that, many people assume this coin has no value. But in the coin world, value is not just about age or how many were made. It's about condition, details, and most importantly, rare errors that escaped the mint. This penny is made of 95% copper, giving it that warm reddish tone collectors love. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait stands strong, and if you look closely at the date and the mint mark, you'll see the small d just below the year, showing it was struck in Denver. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears frame the words 1 cent, a design that ended only a few years later, making every wheat penny feel like a piece of history. Now here's where things get exciting. While most 1952 D wheat pennies are common, certain errors can make this coin rare and expensive. One of the most searched for errors is doubling in the lettering or the date. If the words or numbers look slightly shadowed or doubled under magnification, collectors pay very close attention. Another valuable error includes off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned. Even a small off-center strike can increase collector interest. Die cracks are another detail to watch for. These appear as raised lines on the coin and happen when the minting die begins to wear or crack. Some collectors specialize only in these types of errors. Weak strikes, clipped planchets, and unusual coloring caused by improper metal mixing can also turn an ordinary penny into a desirable collectible. Condition matters more than many people realize. A 1952 D wheat penny with strong details, clear wheat lines, and original color is far more valuable than one that is heavily worn. Coins that look untouched, with sharp edges and minimal scratches, are always in demand among collectors, so before you dismiss this penny as pocket change, take a closer look. Use a magnifying glass, check the mint mark, study the lettering, and examine the surface carefully. You never know what hidden detail might be sitting right in front of you. Now let's talk value. In circulated condition, the real market price of a 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny is usually worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, the value can reach several dollars. Error coins and high-grade examples sold at auction have reached values ranging from tens of dollars to well over $100, depending on rarity and condition. If you enjoyed learning about this classic wheat penny, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another coin story. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a wheat penny in your collection. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Top 2. We are diving into a classic American coin that many people have seen but very few truly understand. This is the United States of America Lincoln wheat penny from 1950 with no mint mark. A small copper coin, yes, but behind it is history, collector passion, and the possibility of hidden value that many overlook. The 1950 no mint mark wheat penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark below the date. This was a time when wheat pennies were still part of everyday life, used in shops, pockets, and savings jars across the country. Because so many were produced, people often assume this coin is common and worthless. But collectors know that condition and errors can completely change the story. Made from 95% copper, this coin has a rich tone that collectors love, especially when the original color is still present. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears sharp and bold, while the reverse features the iconic wheat ears that symbolize an era of American coinage that ended soon after. Every wheat penny feels like a small piece of living history. What makes the 1950 no mint mark penny interesting is not just its age, but the potential for rare minting mistakes. Some coins show doubled lettering in the date or in the words on the front. Others may have off-center strikes where part of the design is shifted. These errors happen during the minting process and were never meant to leave the mint. yet some slipped into circulation. Collectors also look closely for die cracks, weak strikes, and clipped planchets. A tiny missing piece of metal or a raised crack line can make this coin far more desirable. Even color matters. Coins with bright red copper tones are far more valuable than dark or heavily worn examples. Condition is everything. A heavily circulated 1950 wheat penny may not excite collectors, but one with sharp wheat lines, clean surfaces, and minimal wear can stand out. Coins that look untouched for decades often become the centerpiece of a collection, so if you have a 1950 no mint mark wheat penny, don't rush to judge it. Take your time. Look closely. Examine the details. That simple penny could be more than just spare change. Now let's talk value. In average circulated condition, the real market price of a 1950 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is only worth a few cents. In uncirculated condition, the value can reach several dollars. At auction, high-grade examples and rare error coins have sold for values ranging from tens of dollars to over $100, depending on condition and rarity. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a classic wheat penny, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more coin stories. Comment below if you've ever found a 1950 wheat penny in your collection. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Sparkles. Top 3. We are traveling back to a fascinating time in American coin history to explore a Lincoln wheat penny that collectors often overlook while searching for bigger legends. This is the United States of America Lincoln wheat penny from 1955 with the D Mint mark, produced at the Denver Mint. Even though another famous penny from the same year grabs most of the headlines, the Denver issue still holds a special place in collections and can surprise coin hunters who pay close attention to detail. During the mid-1950s, wheat pennies were still widely used across the United States. These coins passed through countless hands, from small local stores to large city markets. The Denver Mint played a major role in producing pennies to meet public demand. Because millions were struck, many people believe this coin has little importance, but collectors know the real story depends on preservation, rarity, and minting mistakes that escaped quality control. The 1955 D wheat penny is made from 95% copper, giving it a classic appearance and weight that coin lovers instantly recognize. The front of the coin displays Abraham Lincoln's portrait with impressive detail when well preserved. Just below the date sits the small D Mint mark, confirming it was struck in Denver. The reverse shows the well-known wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent, a design that represented American coinage for decades before being replaced a few years later. Collectors often examine this coin carefully because certain mint errors can dramatically increase its desirability. One important feature to inspect is doubling in the letters or numbers. Even slight doubling can create strong collector interest. Another exciting error involves off-center strikes, which occur when the coin blank shifts during minting, causing part of the design to appear misaligned or missing. Die cracks are also highly collectible. These raised lines form when the minting dies begin to wear or break. Some collectors actively search for coins showing these unique patterns. Clipped planchets are another rare feature, where a small portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a cutting mistake during production. Variations in copper color, weak strikes, and unusual surface textures can also make this coin stand out. Condition plays one of the biggest roles in determining collector demand. Many 1955 D wheat pennies spent years in circulation, showing heavy wear and fading details. However, coins that maintain strong wheat lines, sharp lettering, and original copper shine are highly prized. Finding a well-preserved example from this era is always exciting for collectors. If you happen to own a 1955 D wheat penny, take time to study it closely under proper lighting. Use magnification and check every detail. What looks like an ordinary coin at first glance could hold hidden collector value. Now let's talk value. In circulated condition, the real market price of a 1955 D Lincoln wheat penny is usually worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, the value can reach several dollars. At auction, high-grade examples and coins with noticeable mint errors have sold for values ranging from tens of dollars to over $100, depending on condition and rarity. If you enjoyed learning about this historic wheat penny, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss future coin discoveries. Share in the comments if you have ever found a 1955 wheat penny in your collection. Thank you for watching and happy coin hunting. Sparkles. Top 4. We're looking at one of the final chapters in the Lincoln Wheat Penny story. This is the United States of America Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1958 with the D Mint mark, struck at the Denver Mint. What makes this coin special is not just the year, but the fact that it comes from the very last year wheat pennies were produced. After this, the famous wheat design disappeared forever, making 1958 an emotional favorite for collectors. Why this time? America was changing fast, and the wheat penny had already served the nation for more than 50 years. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, and most of them entered circulation immediately. Because of that, many people believe the 1958 wheat penny has no value. But collectors know that the end of a series always matters, especially when condition and rare errors are involved. This coin is made of 95% copper, giving it that solid feel and warm tone. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears strong on well-struck examples. Below the date, the small D Mint mark confirms its Denver origin. On the reverse, the two wheat ears frame the words 1 cent, a design that would never return after this year, making every surviving piece feel like a farewell to a classic era. Collectors carefully examine this coin for minting errors. Doubling in the lettering or date, even if subtle, can increase interest. Off-center strikes are another exciting find, where the design appears shifted due to misalignment during striking. Die cracks, which look like raised lines on the coin, are also popular among error collectors. Clipped planchets are especially desirable. These occur when a piece of metal is missing from the edge due to a cutting mistake. Weak strikes, uneven rims, and unusual copper coloring can also add collector value. Because this was a high-production year, dramatic errors stand out even more when they are discovered. Condition is extremely important for the 1958 wheat penny. Most examples show wear, but coins with sharp wheat lines, clean surfaces, and original red copper color are highly sought after. Finding one that looks almost untouched after decades is what every collector hopes for. So if you ever come across a 1958 wheat penny, take a moment before tossing it aside. Study it closely, because the smallest detail can turn a common coin into a special collectible. Now let's talk value. In circulated condition, the real market price of a 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny is usually worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, values can reach several dollars. At auction, high-grade examples and rare error coins have sold for values ranging from tens of dollars to over $100, depending on condition and rarity. If you enjoyed this look at the final Denver Wheat Penny, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more coin history and values. Comment below if you own a 1958 wheat penny. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Sparkles. Top 5. We're focusing on a Lincoln Wheat Penny that represents the everyday life of America in the early 1950s. This is the United States of America Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1953 with no mint mark. That missing mint mark is not an error at all. It tells us this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of pennies were produced to keep the nation's economy moving. Back in 1953, wheat pennies were still a normal part of daily transactions. People used them for newspapers, candy, and small purchases, never imagining that decades later collectors would carefully study these same coins. While this penny may seem common at first glance, collectors know that value is hidden in details, condition, and minting mistakes that slipped through unnoticed. This coin is made of 95% copper, giving it a distinctive weight and color that modern pennies no longer have. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait can show impressive detail when the coin is well preserved, especially in the hair and jawline. The reverse features the classic wheat ears design, a symbol of American tradition that ended just a few years later, making every wheat penny feel like a piece of lost history. Collectors pay close attention to 1953 no-mint mark pennies because of possible mint errors. One of the most interesting is doubled lettering, where parts of the date or words appear slightly duplicated due to a misaligned die. Even light doubling can make a coin stand out to specialists. Off-center strikes are another exciting discovery. These happen when the blank shifts during striking, causing part of the design to be misaligned or missing. Die cracks are also popular among collectors. These raised lines form when the minting die begins to wear, creating unique patterns that make each coin different. Clipped planchets, weak strikes, and unusual copper coloration can also increase interest and desirability. Condition is one of the biggest factors with this penny. Most examples were heavily circulated, which means smooth surfaces and faded wheat lines are common. Coins that still show sharp details, strong lettering, and original copper color are far more difficult to find and much more appealing to collectors. If you come across a 1953 no-mint mark wheat penny, take a moment to study it carefully. Look at the edges, check the lettering, and examine the surface closely. Sometimes the smallest detail can make the biggest difference. Now let's talk value. In circulated condition, the real market price of a 1953 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is usually worth only a few cents. In uncirculated condition, the value can reach several dollars. At auction, high-grade examples and rare error coins have sold for values ranging from tens of dollars to over $100, depending on condition and rarity. If you enjoyed this careful look at a classic wheat penny, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more coin stories and discoveries. Share in the comments if you own a 1953 wheat penny. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Sparkles.